So there's always opportunities. And the question is, are we ready to take advantage of those opportunities?
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
Have you ever noticed that when an opportunity comes, sometimes you're not ready, or you actually miss it totally, you don't even know it's there, and then when it actually see it appear, in other words, you know, you've missed it, and you go, oh, I had that idea, but I didn't pull through it, and someone else creates that idea.
Yeah.
You know, like the pet rock that was so popular in, I don't know when that was, like the 70s. People were selling rocks with little faces on them. Somebody came up with that idea.
Yeah.
And it was probably some kid that drew a face on a rock at some point, right? So there's always opportunities. And the question is, are we ready to take advantage of those opportunities? And that happens in real estate as well, right, Candice?
It does, yes.
Yeah. So today we're going to really unpack what it means to be ready, what it means to be the marathon of real estate,
Yeah.
and the sprint.
Awesome.
It's kind of weird
It is.
because in a track and field run, if you have a marathon, you don't usually do a sprint afterward or in the middle. And real estate is really a marathon, a sprint, and a marathon afterward.
Can be.
So that's kind of weird. So let's unpack that. So Candice, what have you done in the past to actually prepare for the marathon? And like a marathon runner would actually train, right?
Right.
If you were, because if you just said, hey, I'm going to run a marathon, how would you do?
Right. Not great.
Not great.
No.
Would you actually finish it?
Probably not.
Well, I might, but it might be dark by the time I get done. So
Yeah, so there's a few things you can do, and I'll speak from personal experience. I purchased a property early 20s. We'll call it the Brinston House.
you were born in the early 20s. You mean
No,
you were
sorry,
early 20s?
I was early 20s, not in the
okay.
early 20s. I was in my early 20s.
Awesome.
We'll call it the Brinston House.
Yes.
And an opportunity came up. Before the opportunity came up, there's a few things I did. One, I owned a different property, and I sold that one first.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I liquidated.
Because you weren't in a position to own two properties.
That's right.
So so the first step of preparing was selling your existing home.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I had interim housing because I didn't know how long it would take to find that new home because I was looking for something that didn't really exist in the market. I was downsizing financially with the purchase price. So I was looking for a low budget house far out and waiting for that perfect opportunity.
Okay. So arranging your interim accommodation, if necessary,
Yep.
was a good step for preparing for that marathon, that long stretch of trying to find the exact right house for you that you could fit in your budget.
Yep.
Okay.
And then for me personally, when I did find it, there was one piece missing. I was involved with someone dating, but we weren't engaged yet. And I wasn't going to buy this particular house if I didn't have a partner to go in on with it because it required a lot of sweat, tears, and blood, really.
A lot of sweat equity.
Yeah, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of renovations. And
you weren't willing to,
Not by myself.
Throw the hammer and run the saws and...
Not everything it took for one house by myself. No,
Yeah,
I wanted
okay.
a partner to do that.
All right, because that particular house was a total gut, right?
Yes, yeah. It was being sold for land value only.
Okay, and when I say total gut, I mean not just the... Sometimes when you think of a gut, it's take the drywall off, maybe fix the wiring, put some new insulation in. But this was like take out all the interior walls.
Yes. The
And
staircase.
take out the staircase, everything. It had no kitchen.
It had no kitchen, no wiring, no plumbing. We took everything out.
It didn't even have a bathroom, did it?
It had one bathroom in a closet, and the toilet was, I'll never forget it. It was like, had a blue and white kind of Hawaiian seat
Oh, nice.
and lid. And then it had a pink sink, and it was in a closet. And then it had, the shower was in a bedroom. It was like a portable shower in a bedroom. So we're talking,
Wow.
yeah. And I mean, the wallpaper was like 15 layers thick, wrapped from the floor, bottom of the floor, all the way up the wall, across the ceiling, all the way down the next wall to the floor. So it actually was even draping because of all the mice that were running through it.
Beautiful.
We're talking like, get all that out.
Okay, so what else? What else did you do to be prepared to buy a house?
Yeah. So I was ready when the opportunity showed up. I had a real estate agent to represent me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have your financing in place as well?
I did, yeah.
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 And then also, you were knowing what. I love that you said I wasn't willing to buy that house unless I had a partner. So you're waiting for the proposal.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
buy a house
Yeah.
because you knew what renovations you were willing to take on
Yes.
and what renovations you weren't willing to take on.
That's right.
That's part of being prepared. And then how'd the final product work out?
It went really well. So I did get that proposal after all.
Yeah, that worked out well too.
That one worked out well. And then we put in the offer, and the offer was accepted, which is great. And then we closed and started renovating and ripping and tearing. We put in a septic, so windows, insulation, everything, as you mentioned. And the final product was beautiful. We sold it for over 3 times of what we purchased it for.
Wow.
Within 4 years, but we did put in double of what we bought.
Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put money into the
We did
renovations.
put in
yeah,
money.
you put
Yeah.
in the kitchen, new bathrooms, new everything.
Yeah,
So,
granite. Yeah.
yeah. So the house in this story actually is kind of interesting because in the Wealth Formula, the book that I wrote,
Yes.
your house that you renovated was the inspiration
Yeah.
for the storyline that wraps through that book about building wealth, getting out of debt and building wealth. Yeah. So if you're thinking, hey, I'd like to hear more about that, you could buy the book.
Yeah.
You can go on Amazon and you can buy it on Amazon.ca as a paper book, or you can get it on Kindle. And also, if you want an autographed copy, they can stop off at my office at 5 Corvus, and they'll actually get a little break on it. It's $20, including tax, if you come to the office.
Awesome. And I'll just put a plug in there for
yes.
your book. Whether you're a reader or not a reader, it's a really easy read. My husband, who hadn't read a book for many years since high school, decided he would read it, and he was able to do it in a weekend. So
He read the book in a weekend.
yeah, for a non-reader.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. Okay, so once again, you can get that book at Amazon, or you can stop in at my office at 5 Corvus Court and pick up an autographed copy.
Awesome.
With over 367 episodes
Yes.
of the Inside Track, this is a source that you can trust. It's about everything to do with your living in your home, your lifestyle, and how you want to build the best life possible. So we're so excited that you're joining us on the Inside Track on CHRI.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward